4, 41, 50, 58. Support below at 06, 39.97, 88, 80, 73. Pivot 18, support 06, 39.97, 88, 80, and 73. Upside resistance at 27, 34, 41, 50, and 58. All right, welcome some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market based on the levels we just gave out. And any additional price action opportunities that might occur, we focus more on the morning hours to give us our opportunities. We feel the dynamics in the morning hours help with the methodology, and gives us our opportunities to profit much better than the afternoon, as the afternoon trade gets a little bit more choppy and trading side kind of just doesn't go anywhere fast. So that's what we try to do here on an everyday basis. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'll repeat the levels in a little bit here. So we'll see what happens as the market opens up here. We got 06, a little bit of support on the downside. Let's see if we have any numbers coming out this morning. We did have, well, we don't. We have 845 PMI composite. So we have a number coming out here in about 14 minutes or so. In addition, at 9 o'clock on top of the hour, we've got Richmond Fed coming out. Again, these are all fundamental news that might affect the market, and we try to make sure we don't have any positions on when those numbers are released, or regardless of how much of a market move they might or might not be. We just never know. So we try to eliminate some of that risk of not knowing. And we kind of just let the market play itself out when those releases are up, and then we'll see what happens after. We can always trade the after effect of any volatile number. All right, we did bounce up here to our blue band a little bit there, if you're a blue bander, and maybe took advantage of that quick little scalp there against that opportunity. Again, there's price action plays. We don't talk about all the trades that we might have here. Obviously, the levels are there for everybody to scalp around. But as far as some of the price action plays, those are a little bit more riskier, so we leave those for the opportunities for any of our students who have taken our education course and can look for those trades independently. All right. Let's see here. So we do have a number coming out here in about 10 minutes, so be a little bit mindful of that. Let's see, earnings season kicked into overdrive today with tech giants begin to report their quarterly results. Microsoft is scheduled to start the festivities after the bell with a set of results that come during a period of notable change in the company. For one, Microsoft just revealed plans to lay off 10,000 employees along with the related charge of $1.2 billion. And yesterday, the company, which revolutionized the computer industry, confirmed it would make a multi-billion-dollar investment in ChatGPT developer of OpenAI. So that's where they're going with that. Analysts likely to raise questions as to how both events might impact the business throughout 2023. So stick around for a conference call or catch the transcripts. Long-term implication of OpenAI investment and whether Microsoft can gain an edge over Google. So that is coming out later after the close. Could be a little bit. Again, we have a lot of earning where we are in the middle of earning season. Sometimes a lot of the big companies that affect the market will report after the market closes. Like last week, I think a lot of the banks reported. And so this week, I think it's a lot of the tech companies are reporting. So we shall see where the market brings us. So most of that stuff. So if you're going to be trading late in the afternoon, like right after when the market closes, the market's open once the mark like at 3:00, but then it stays open till 4, and you have to be a little bit careful of the volatility that might occur once they release, because there's going to be a lot less volume and a lot less traders trading at that time, no matter what. So if you are going to be trading at that time, at least be aware that you might get some volatility in the market, and it's because the earnings are going to be released, and you have the initial burst of energy when that shows up. So be careful if you're going to be trading at that time. We shall see what this number brings here. And the market continues to downtick. We've got a little support down at the 06, but we do have a number coming out here in 2 minutes. PMI composite. So if we get close to that 6 area and the number is going to be released, be mindful of that. Sometimes it's no matter, you might put a stop in there and it might run through the stop. So that's why we don't like to trade when a number is released, or at least have a position on when the number is released. You can probably trade the after effect of the number, but I've had it where, I put in a stop and then, well, I mean, if you put in a stop, there's 2 ways of putting a stop. You can put in a stop with like a 5-point limit. That means if you run through your 5 points, you're not going to get stopped. So I had that one time and I ran through my limit and didn't get stopped because the thing ran down like 20 points. So yeah, they don't release it. They don't release them too often at 8:45. Chicago PMI and the PMI numbers are kind of released right now, but it is what it is. As long as we know about it, it doesn't really matter what time they release it. You always have these guys talking. They can talk anytime, and they're not going to tell us when they're going to say something. So it's just, you got to take it. Just understand it's happening, and as long as you know it's happening, it's a lot better opportunity. Our pivot this morning, I'll repeat the levels again. Our pivot this morning is 40.18, 40.18. Support down here at 06, 39.97, 88, 80, and 73. A resistance at 18. The pivot is 18. Then resistance at 27, 34, 41, 50, and 58. All right, let's see, because we kind of hang it in here. So number in 5 minutes. I said 2 minutes before. I was wrong. Sorry about that. I didn't look at the time. I just have a number in. It's going to be released in 5 minutes. At 8:45. So my bad. So we're down here on the lows. We got 06, a little support area again. Be mindful that in now 4 minutes, we're going to have a number released. We got down to 09 there, and rotating back up here a little bit. Again, found a kind of very choppy little trade here in this little range. We're looking at 06. This time we do have a number coming out in about 2.5 minutes here. So this time I got it right this time, I hope. So we're coming back up here to our pivot area, kind of chopping around. And pivot players, maybe you're taking advantage of it here a little bit. Scoop up a few ticks here before the number. We had a blue band trade, pivot trade here, a couple of them. So if you did partake, did okay. All right, we're just kind of hanging around our pivot here as this number is going to be released here momentarily in about a minute or so. We'll see what that brings us. Or not. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. All right. Well, it's not going to change the as the number is released here. Got a little support there at 86. Bond market reacted quickly negatively to it. Many stocks have been halted. Well, that's okay. Well, they haven't closed the exchange, so you know they won't close the exchange unless there's a flood. I don't know if you guys remember in Chicago, we did have a flood at the Board of Trade. Way back, and they had to actually they did shut down for like 3-4 days, and then they couldn't get electricity into the floor. They actually went back to chalkboards. When we came back, they put up like construction lights so that we could see what was going on in the pit. We had to walk up to my office to get my trading jacket, which was on the 20th floor, and walk back down. It was now I think water. They had a flood. I don't know if you remember that way back. I don't even know when it was, but it was they had like a tunnel system in Chicago where you get basically through all of downtown in a tunnel system that was built in the 1800s, and it flooded with the Chicago River. Somebody poked a hole in one of the tunnels, and the floodwaters came, and they ran a lot of electrical wiring through those tunnels because they ran through the whole downtown. So a lot of places were affected. And Board of Trade obviously was one of them. They've taken precautions since then. So there's a little pop up here, coming up here to our 27 area. Put my head down for just a minute. Look what happens. Got up to 26 and change here. Trying to get us a little bit of a rotation here against our 27 area. There we go. Nice little rotation there against the 27. It's nice. Well, we didn't get up to 27, but again, we are scaling in around our level, 26, 27, 28, something like that. And we got right up to 6.25 there. So hopefully you were able to, I like those where I don't watch and then I get filled, and then I get filled on my profit exit strategy. Once in a while, it's good. Well, this number did create a little volatility. So again, you can trade the volatility after the fact, right? Try not to have a position on during. There's a difference, I think. So the volatility after the fact got us to the 27 area and then gave us this opportunity to make a little bit of money, right? So that's what we're looking at, hoping for. Is the volatility to get us to a level, and then we can trade that, because they kind of bounced it down a little bit first and then rallied it right up here to our level. Now, if you have 27, I'd be a little bit mindful of that. Be a little bit careful if you're going to take the upper end of the range there. Maybe lessen the number of contracts, or trade it a little bit differently than you would, because especially if you got filled at 26. So if you're trading our numbers, there's a little quick scalp around our 27 area. Again, we can't be perfect, and hopefully you're able to jump in and take advantage of that somehow. We do have a Richmond Fed manufacturing index coming out here at the top of the hour. Okay, so about 10 minutes. Right. Nice little rotation there against our 27 area. If you had any left over. All right, so we came down to the blue band area a little bit there, depending on how aggressive you wanted to be, and came back up. All right, continue the little rally here. Again, only if you're aggressive, where you're going to take the levels above the 27 area or the 27 area at all. Obviously, it's a little bit more skittish, a little bit more riskier, but if you're going to take it, trade it smaller, keep your risk, within, adjust your risk a little bit is what I'm trying to say. And then look for the 34 level above as our next resistance area. In regards to that exchange, some stocks were halted. New York Stock Exchange just broke. To keep trading anyway. Right, they got up to 31, 30 and change up there and then came off. We're looking at the 34 next. A little support would be back around the 18, 19 area. All right, coming quickly down here to this 18, 19 area, maybe. Yeah, coming down here to the 19. Let's see what it wants to do down here if you want to be a little aggressive. If not, just wait for our levels. Our downside support is down at 06. Again, everybody has different risk tolerances, so you have to understand uh, your risks and keep it traded accordingly. Every trade I mention is something that each individual takes. You have to understand which trades you like and understand why you're getting into them, and then trade it accordingly. So now we're coming back up here, down here, I mean, to our pivot. So we'll see if it's going to hold or not, and we'll see what it wants to do here. Otherwise, wait for the 06 on the downside. Okay, so we got right up to that 18 and 19 area and then drifted back down. And if you didn't like the trade, the way it was trading around the level, gave you a chance there to exit. And now we continue to downtick here. Again, if you didn't, it took your stop. And then we'll see what happens down at the 06. That's our next level of support. Quick rejection of that 30 area and come flushing back down here. Maybe they opened up the stock exchange again. All right, so now we're kind of just flat here. Let's see what happens. That's 06 on a downside support. Yeah, market continues to slowly, quickly kind of downtick here. Looking at '06, our first support level on the downside. All right, we just drifted down to 10 there. So this is like the no trade zone that we are. Don't like to trade this little area here. Need to get out of this little range here. See, we have support down at the '06, kind of this lower end of this range. So it kind of came out with that number, and then they just kind of, eh. All right, staying here on the lows, looking at the '06 area. All right, quickly coming down here. All right, working this '06 area here a little bit. right, nice little rotation there against the 06 area. This time you got filled at 06, so if you did have the 06, hopefully you got filled down there. And we got up here to 8. If you want to see if we can get a little bit more out of it, but nice little quick 2 points there. And trying to, again, if you're trading multiple contracts, you are scaling out of your contracts along the way. You have to take profits. And if you're just trading one lot, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Just take your profit and move on to the next opportunity. All right, so we're trying to scale out here of our 06s. Again, if you're trading multiple contracts, you're getting 2-3 points here on these trades. And take some profits and move on to the next opportunity. And if you did buy the 18, 19 above, you either scratched them or you took your loss and looked in for the next opportunity. Again, we got to keep your stops in place no matter what. I'll repeat the levels again for those of you who might have missed the levels. Our pivot this morning is 4018. The support at 06, 39.97, 88, 80, 73. Support on the downside at 27. I'm sorry, that's support. Resistance. I'm not all here today. Resistance at 27, which we already got triggered. Had a nice little opportunity there. And then above that 34, 41, 50, and 58. So our first level of support there at 06 got triggered, and then that gave us a nice little opportunity here. And this is a way of being able to take more than 2 or 3 points on your trades. You can see here we popped all the way back up here to 14. So if you are scaling out and you have any contracts left over, you try to keep 1 or 2 and try to ride it out. Make sure you keep a stop in there and also keep a trailing stop if you're going to get a nice little rotation up here. That way you can take advantage of our level when we get a nice entry point there with relatively very small amount of heat. Got down to 5 1/4 and we had 6. So for those of you who had the level straight up, you did okay. Again, there's different ways of trading, right? There's not one right way. Well, I guess there's only one right way, is just take some profits and make money, right? But there's different ways of exiting those trades and managing those trades, I should say. So not one right way or wrong way. It's just more or less how you manage your trade depending on your risk tolerance. All right. I'll repeat the levels again. Nice little opportunities here for us, like I said, when we gave out these levels early on in the day, at the beginning of the day. So our pivot this morning was 4018, 4018. Support at 06, 39.97, 88, 80, 73. Resistance on the upside at 27, but like I said, that already got triggered, and then 34 above that, 41, 50, 58. All right. We're bouncing right back up here to our pivot area. Nice rotation there off of the 06 area. If you're playing the pivot blue band area, see what it wants to do here. If you're not, just if you are planning, make sure you keep your stop in place. If you're not, then just really, we already tested the 27, so we're looking at 34 above as our next level of resistance that we're looking at. And it was a nice little quick rotation there against our 06 area. And if you did play our pivot area here and our blue band, you're getting paid off. So again, if you're going to take those trades, you got to kind of take them almost every time because you just don't know when they're going to work or not. And it gives you the scalp back here off of the 18 pivot area. 18 a pivot and blue band. So it was a couple combinations there. Yeah, if you were a little aggressive. And you had a nice little quick rotation off of that. So kind of make up for the 18-19 rotation the first time too. You just never know when. I mean, they work more times than not, so that's all I'll say. But all right, so nice little opportunity here. Like we average about 4 to 5 trades a day, I would say, and I think we've kind of gotten that so far this morning. And there are our levels printed there for you in the chat, in case you didn't write them down. All right, so now we're just kind of hanging around our pivot. See what it wants to do up here. All right, quick little pop up here. We're looking at the 34 area as our next level of resistance. Very, very choppy, right? All of a sudden, bonds rotated up, S&Ps rotated back up. It looked like they just sold it off really quick, and then boom, right back up here. So that's choppiness. And I wish I could tell you they were going to break it, and then I wish I could have told you to hold on to your 6s back up here to these highs. I wish. Well, all you can do, the only way you can do that is by having a trailing stop and moving that trailing stop along the way every time